My Gavanen and well met. I'm Arakir Galadirth, head of Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to our Dorwinion campaign. Now, before I start with this Dorwinion campaign, I've recently spoke with Ngugi, who, if you are unsure who Ngugi is, if you are familiar with the DCI submod, which is soon to come out, then you may know him as the founder and current creator of that mod, along with a team of others. But most importantly, Ngugi is the resident law expert over at Total War Center. And I spoke to him about a few things, and I should like to clarify that Círdan is not one of the firstborn, sadly. He is second or third generation, but he is still the oldest named elf in Middle-earth. So that much was true, but he is just not part of the firstborn. And Ngugi would also like me to clarify, as I'm playing as the Wine faction, that unlike in the extended Lord of the Rings, the elves actually are susceptible to alcohol. There is no magical resistance that they've got to alcohol, and that was purely put in to give Legolas that extra ooh factor. So don't believe everything that you see in the films, because some of it is wrong. So I thought I'd clarify that one first. But right, back to our little video. The plan is obviously to take Lest, cripple Run, try and defeat Uldor. We're going to team up with Vine Regent Howin and the three generals, and then smash Uldor, who's realistically going to take Othelbed. So what we will do, if he does try and take Othelbed, we don't want to lose any men. So we'll let him take it, and then we can siege him next turn and crush him that way, because he's not going to make it very far if he heads north. Lest we are just going to siege out. We've got enough troops and we're on a bridge to make sure that that will go quite nicely. However, we are losing money. As some people have said, they'd like to see me, or well, Ted Bracey, as he comments quite prolifically, and I'm pleased that you're so excited, Ted. Also a great name. But he wishes me to go for Dol Guldur. Now that's something that I don't normally do, so to jazz it up a bit, I might as well do that. Throw that into the mix, because I don't normally do that when I play the game on my own. I leave Dol Guldur alone, I attack Run, and then I attack Mordor from behind, and it's around about when I kind of defeat Mordor that I tend to get bored, around the sort of 150 turns in. Although it has happened sooner, I normally have Run defeated well within the first 100 turns, because if you strike at their key provinces, you can cripple them very quickly. Although they've not attacked Othelbed, and in fact they're pulling back to Lest to support it. Ah, that is perfect.
Yes,
that is perfect. We can chase them then.
Yes. Your orders, my lord. Horsa, yes, my lord.
If you could please build towers.
With honor.
Ah, no, we've got no money, have we?
Your orders, my
right,
lord.
Regent Howin, follow,
yes, my lord.
and chase them back and support our army.
Honor. Your orders,
oh no, even better. Let's take Enmahar, which I believe is the town just there, and then we can force Run to split there. Divide their attention.
Yes, my lord.
Trespassing on the elves' lands, they're not going to like that. Oh, they've got the Marches of the Northmen. Oh, of course, that's the turn 1 auto expansion. But we've got no threats through the north, but I don't know what's happening through the north. I don't really like that. Plains of Arafal have fallen to Dale, which is good. That means they've got the village there. Sagath. But Wintirion Eor, I believe, fell, yes indeed, to the forces of Run, which is the castle in the forest just there. So Run and Dale are now knocking on each other's door. Oh, and a force is moving north to take Caras Valathrim. I can't train anything there.
Your orders, my lord.
Oh well. Can't really do anything else this turn either, as now that we're losing money, so we will again end the turn. It's worth clarifying that Ngugi's very highly anticipated mod, DCI Last Alliance, which focuses on the Last Alliance of Men and Elves, is currently not yet out. But I will, for this video, I will put the link to it in the description so you can all have a look. But do not go there and flood it with comments such as, when is this happening? When is this out? When is this out? How long have I got to wait? Because there is no, we never give dates in this business. So cut him some slack. Let's try and get map information off of these people. Oh yes.
Be thankful we
if you're wondering why I'm saying yes before it's actually told me, is because if the game has a little bit of a freeze moment just before the scroll closes, that means they have accepted your proposal. But the game's just updating, and before it updates the map, it just pauses it for you basically whilst it's updating the map. So
yes. Your orders, my lord.
Oh, we are hugely losing money. 2,000 to 10. Oh, that's because Caris Valathrim's just been sieged. Right, so we can't get support to Fourth Wind, so he's going to have to hold on that bridge. But Vinelord Swine can join with How in there. And we'll be able to attack Uldor, which will hit them with a big blow. 4 turns till they attack, so we're probably likely going to be, if we're losing about 2,000 a turn, probably going to be over 10,000 in debt by the end of this mini-campaign. Which isn't ideal, of course.
Your orders, my lord.
Right, he's not going to be able to build towers, so let's not waste him. Let's move him in.
We can go no further, my lord.
Harald can just wait there. Nothing else going on, because again we're losing money. We're just waiting for Run's inevitable invasion on Valathrim. And I wonder how long it will take them to attack me in Lest. I'm interested as to why Uldor over there on the left-hand side of the mountains hasn't joined them. Although that army is definitely going to cause a severe issue for us. Look at the size of that. If we attack Lest now, they'll get their garrison, and we'll lose a lot of men trying to bring down Margos in the town. See, there's only 4 units, but I think they get 3 units of full, very armed garrison units, because Run get quite a good garrison unit. And I don't know if we'd be able to take it all, but on the flip side, we're never going to be able to hold off both of those, even on the bridge, because we have got an army of our weakest units. I may have over-anticipated my strength this time. That's a bit silly, to be honest. Howin's far away, and he's got a formidable army, but he's just too far away. We might have to do it, everyone. We're going to have to do it. Let's just quick save it.
Yes, my lord.
The invasion can begin.
To battle.
There's 584 of them. Oh, they only got 1 unit of the armoured defenders. Ah, we might win.
Attack.
There's hope. There is hope for our little army. Fingers crossed, anyway. Fingers are crossed. Eldar of the West, Sylvan. Recently had a lengthy discussion with someone over the nature of elves, and he fully does not believe that Sylvan elves are Telerian. He believes Sylvan are separate to Telerin, and we are well, potentially we argued over that for ages, but I can't understand that. I don't want to just badmouth someone in a video. That's not good practice. But we had a lengthy discussion and debate about it. Right, what's our plan here? They're going to have, I think, 2 units on the walls because they had 2 ranged units. But they're going to pull back to there, so we're going to want to use the fact that we've got quite a lot of ranged units to our advantage. So these units are going to break in. You guys are going to be behind. We're not going to use the general. Oh, speaking of generals, while we just set this up and prepare. I recently began playing Empire Total War because I've had it on my computer pretty much since it came out. I got it in a Steam sale ages ago for about $5 or something like that, and I've never really played it. And I began playing it, and I was already aware that you can't use your generals in the same way that you can in this game. You can't use them as incredibly powerful shock-like style cavalry that will attack and kill anything they charge into. You have to use them to either run down routing units or, ideally, not use them at all. However, that point was really hammered home to me when in one battle I lost 4 generals. But I didn't just lose 4 generals. If there were 24 of them like we have with Fourth Wind here, if there were 24 of them, 23 of them survived and only 1 man died in each of the 4 battalions. And I genuinely am not lying. That was the death count. And the 1 man in each 4 was my general. And I was absolutely livid. Particularly as I was playing as the great nation of Great Britain. Clues in the name. And John Churchill was my general, and I was very pleased that John Churchill was my general because in actual history John Churchill did a right number on Louis XIV and was praised as one of Britain's greatest generals. Indeed, in his generations later, his descendant would then become the great Winston Churchill.
Our men have reached the gate.
But John Churchill is he's an incredible military leader, and he really ensures the defeat of Louis XIV and helps keep Britain British rather than French at that time. And he died almost straight away against some bloody Native Americans. Huron Wyandot or Wyandotte. I'm afraid I'm not well versed in the naming culture of the Native Americans, but I sent him all the way over there because I lost that Rupert's Land, the town that England start with, and I couldn't believe they died. I was so annoyed. But interestingly, in Empire, which I didn't realise, and I was thinking of how it's relevant to this, as I was thinking if we've recently done as close to that as we can, but in Empire you can just buy back generals. If an army doesn't have a general, you can just buy a general there and then, and it turns the captain into a general. Which is a huge game hack. So your army could be miles away from your nearest allied settlement. Like, I could own Canada and be standing in Florida, and I could just train a general out of thin air. It just seems baffling to me.
The battering ram has done its work.
Right, we're there. We've broken through, so it's time to push now. We're going to lose a lot of men in this battle, but at least we can take Lest, destroy every building, and then that'll cause a massive blow to run. Right, speed it up as they move into position. Right, break through. Guard, go with them. Right, and now they're not going to fight in the town square, which is annoying.
The enemy's walls.
So, although we're doing quite well in pushing in, this is the problem. Even without their charge bonus, these guys are so heavily armoured, I'm going to really struggle to bring them down. So we're going to need to use our archers to the best of our ability. But at least we've broken in, so let's charge the rest of them in. Oh, I still haven't done their sprites, have I? Sorry, everyone.
Continue like this,
they're not meant to be purple, they're meant to be bright white. Although I think actually they are their sprites, but the sprites are just putting too much emphasis on the fact that they've got those purple fronts. So it's creating a purple looking sprite. Anyway, nevertheless. In we charge. Into the city of Lest. Ah, the cavalry have found us. And they... Alright, you stop being in shield wall now because it's not helping you. And you guys run through. Because at the minute you're not doing anything. So just run in, spread out, and then halt, attack everything that you can. And now our archers are doing a number on those people on the wall. Or are they? Because they've got the wall as protection. Oh, they're crossbowmen as well. So a full volley baby kills one. They're going to waste all their arrows and get absolutely no one killed. We've killed 35% of them, but we lost 20% of our own. I'm not sure we've killed a single bodyguard. Oh no! There's one of them. One of the scum, and there's another. Every one of them felled is a great victory for us. Our general could probably counter them, but the run Cataphract cavalry, in order to ensure their strength over the Dorwinion Cataphract style cavalry, run slightly get more men per battalion. So our 24 men would get massacred by their 37 or however many it is. Could do with them killing off the middle ground so that we can someone can get out and hit those archers. But they're doing alright. The Thorn Guard are probably helping a great deal because obviously they're good against cavalry. I think we've killed 6 of them so far. But we've lost almost our entire body of Thorn Bladesmen. That was to be expected. The Eastling Armoured Defenders have lost about 60 men. And now we're in there with our shield bearers, our worst unit. Oh, look, what are these guys doing? They're just having a chill. They're just still chilling. No one cares. Attack something, you fools. There's loads of them outside still. How many of these have they taken down now? Oh, that's quite good. If we're going to waste our entire arrows on something, it might as well be at least getting 1 or 2 men every now and then. Because the archers won't do very much against the Lôk-rîs. As we are just watching me shoot things, to expand upon the debate I was having with the gentleman,
Only half
every single elf in existence is from one of the 3 major clans. Now don't think of clans as in like Germanic tribes. They're clans as in that's just the name that Tolkien gave them. And they are one of 3. They are Vanya, Noldor and Teleri. And the Vanyar are the first. They're the original. So their leader awoke first. He was the first elf to awake, and he is considered the High King of all elves. Although the Noldor have their own king structure, and obviously they don't directly answer to him, but he is considered the High King of all elves. And he awoke first, and he led the Vanyar. Now the Vanyar were so enamored with the Valar that every single one of them made the journey all the way to Aman, where they now live at the feet of Manwë in their city. And the only other Vanyar that's really ever given a name outside of their High King is the wife of, I believe, Fëanor. Because no, not Fëanor, sorry, because Galadriel and therefore by extension her daughter, Elrond's wife, they are some of the only elves that have blood of all three elven families in them. But we will take a look. So the Vanyar came first, and they all went to Aman, and they settled on the slopes of the mountain called Tanaquetil, or Tanaquetil. So they were the original three. And the other named Vanyar is called Indis, and she's the wife of Finwë. And Finwë is Galadriel's grandfather. But he also, through the line, he is also related to Elrond and Elros. But so the Vanyar, they all go to Aman. They don't stay behind at all. Now the Noldor, obviously, they also all go to Aman. However, they come back. As I'm sure you're all aware, Fëanor, the Silmarillion, the whole point of it is he gets banished. He follows Morgoth after Morgoth steals the Silmaril, and he tries to steal the boats from Alqualondë, and the Teleri at Alqualondë say, no, you can't have our boats. So he murders them and takes their boats, and for that they're banished. However, the Noldorin are then allowed to return. The curse of Fëanor, which affected his sons, is ended, and all of his sons apart from one is dead. And the one who isn't dead potentially is dead, but is said to have just wandered forever, basically. So the Noldor go back to Middle-earth, but many of them then again return. Like, for example, Elrond is of the Noldorin line, and most of the elves of Rivendell, all the elves of the Grey Havens, they're all relatively Noldorin line. Although there's quite a few Sindar thrown in, and some of the Falathrim from Círdan's folk from the First Age. And the final group of elves are the Teleri, and the Teleri encompasses almost everyone that isn't a high elf. So the Nandor, who are the green elves of Assyrian, who come from Beleriand, but Nandor's also interchangeable with Sylvan. Whilst Sylvan is distinct from Nandorin, the words are sometimes interchangeable. So you may see Sylvan, you may see Nandor, but the Sylvan elves are the elves who tarried around the Anduin when the Teleri were the third to march. So the Vanyar went first, the Noldor went second, the Teleri went third. But the Teleri, possibly because they weren't actually physically led by a Rome, they tarried around the Anduin. So, and they became enamored. They were feared to cross the Misty Mountains, and so they stayed in the Anduin. And over time, they eventually became the two realms of Lothlorien and Mirkwood. Although originally Lothlorien was called Lorinand, and Mirkwood is called Erungallan, which just means Greenwood. And they become those two realms. And the rest of the elves do cross the Anduin, and they go on. And then they tarry in Beleriand, and they become the Grey Elves, because they're called the Elves of the Twilight, because they don't see the light of the trees. However, their queen is a Maya, so she imparts onto them a greater spiritual knowledge than they would otherwise have attained, and they become the Sindar, the Grey Elves. And for that very reason, their queen is a Maya, and their king obviously is one of the firstborn. And they tarry in Beleriand, where they stay. However, a small section do continue with the hope of going to Aman, but they then stop at the sea, and they essentially fall in love with the sea, and they don't wish to go all the way to Aman when they've already got the sea here, and they become the Falathrim. They are the folk of Círdan. They live entirely on the coasts of Beleriand, and then at the fall of Beleriand, they migrate to the Grey Havens, where they stay and then fight in the wars there, and then eventually leave. And all of these sections, so Falathrim, Sindar, Nandor and Sylvan, they're all Teleri elves. But it is worth also noting that a section of them do make the crossing to Aman, and they end up living in Alqualondë. But originally they live on the island of Tol Eressëa, and then they move off of that and they move to Alqualonde, which I believe means Swan Haven in Quenya, and they are the direct target of Fëanor when he attacks to get the ships to sail back to Middle-earth. And those are all the Elven clans. So regardless of what name they take, whether they're Sylvan, Sindar, Falathrim, Nandor, Noldor, they're all part of one of those three clans. And it all depends on where they awoke, when they awoke at the beginning of time. It is said that there were 144 elves awoke first, along with the three kings of the three realms, which is Ingwe, who was the High King of the Vanyar and therefore the High King of all elves, and Finwë, the Noldor King, and Olwë, the Daleran King. Rather interesting, I think. Rather interesting indeed. Oh, and of course, the elves that I should really be talking about, the ones that we are only focused with, are the Avari elves. And the Avaran elves are again considered Teleri. They were part of the third, and they just refused to go altogether. There's a possibility that the Avari may well be of all the elves, of some possibly Noldor, but it is expressly said that all the Vanyar headed west. They all moved west, and it also says that all the Noldor do. So we know that the Avari are Telerin, and they of course refuse the Great Journey, and they stay exactly where they are. And they are the elves who then now, as Dorwinion, we control, assuming that they might have slightly migrated at some point later in history, slightly further west. And to confuse you even further, there are other names again to cover that. So any elf that saw the light of the trees, that's only Vanyar and Noldor, they are considered Calaquendi, which quite literally just means light elves. And any elves that didn't see the light of the trees are considered Moriquendi, which is dark elves. So the Avari and the Sindar and the Nandor and the Lyquendi, or the green elves, and the Sylvan, they're all considered Moriquendi, as well as being Teleri, because they didn't see the light of the trees. The Nandor Sylvan words do get thrown around quite a lot, because the green elves of Osiriand are also called the Lyquendi, which literally means green elves, but they're also called the Nandor. And the Sylvan elves of Mirkwood and Lothlorien, at other times they're also called Nandor. So it's uncertain what exactly Tolkien wanted as the word to describe them, but
victory will be ours.
Sylvan is the most settled on for the elves of Mirkwood and Lothlorien. So there you go, a little bit of the creation of the elves, a little bit more about the creation of the elves for you. Alright, well, back to this one. We've got a bit of an issue in that our general's come through but done nothing. So what we're going to do is we're going to run him through. Not in the old English sense of sticking a spear through him, but we're going to charge him straight through the line and out the other side, because we outnumber now the bodyguard of Run, so they'll follow us, and we can have a great bodyguard showdown once we're all through. Which one is our general? Oh, that one there without the helmet. Oh, and he has cool armor. Good work, Hummingbird. Right, now charge those, which means this army can now just focus on the few remaining Eastling defenders. As soon as Margos dies, the enemy will surrender. And this, not done too much this episode, but once this battle ends, do a little bit of housekeeping with Lest, and then that'll be the end of this video. So I hope again it's been enjoyable. The next one up I will do is the Northern Dunedain, I do wish to carry on with that campaign as well. Right, we've charged in and immediately lost 5, and they've lost 1, showing you how much better they are than us. Although, there we go, there's a few dropping now. They're down to 6, we're down to 15. Wow, they're so much better than us. But that really is all they've got left. They've got a few men. 3 crossbowmen are left alive. And 4 Easterling armored defenders, but they've still got that. They've still essentially got a 25% chance of winning this. That's how strong these 6 stupid guys are. Look, we're down to 7. Oh, we're gonna die, aren't we? I'll run Thorwin away. Surely this entire army will be able to kill 7 of those cataphracts. There are 3 armored defenders left now. 2 left. 1 left. There's still 6 of those. Ah, now there's 5. That's good. Alright, the Eastling Armor's defenders are dead. And they've still got a 25% chance of winning, even though there are now only 5 of them. There are 5 of them, and they're still potentially going to beat me. Right, let's speed it up, as all it is now is them basically churning their way through our units. Still 5. I don't know why I'm holding the mouse cursor over. I can just see that there are 5. They are absolutely slaughtering us. There is genuinely nothing else I can do. Our cavalry won't get a charge bonus, and it'll just fall. There we are. We lost 1 man in that initial charge. Oh no, we killed 1 of theirs. I've killed 2 of theirs. Come on, come on, come on. And people should fear these golden cataphracts, and if you don't, this is exactly why. These 5 men are massacring my entire army. There's only 2 left now. We've got 4, that's always good. Keep up the attack. They've taken so many of us now. Right, they're down to just Khan Margos. Excellent. Now we should have the win. Just might be some time. Do we not own those towers? Yes!
But only by a sword's edge.
Oh, we only lost half our army. Did a lot of people flee that I didn't notice about? Oh yeah, look, they're all running away there. Oh, and most of them healed their entire... This shows you why winning a battle can turn it so much. Almost our entire army just healed. Whereas if they hadn't had that feature, they almost all of them would have died. Oh, that was way too close. I hate those stupid Cataphract cavalry. And as I say, even if their charge doesn't get you, they'll still get you in battle because they're just so strong.
We have triumphed.
Right, exterminate everything.
Lord,
destroy everything that we can destroy.
Have conquered.
Merge everyone. And then basically run away. We can't cross the bridge. And if we head in, we're going to be attacked. So there's a very strong possibility that we're going to lose Thorwin and his army, because Vineregent Howin is not going to arrive in time to support him. Still losing money, but only 1,000 now. Oh, I should have destroyed the buildings manually, of course. And then I would have got more money. So what we're going to do to escape the wrath of that guy
I will not waste words on you.
Is
I will not waste words on you. I will not waste words on you.
Oh, I don't know, because if they take the town, then they'll be able to walk past it, so he'll be able to reach almost anywhere. So we're going to try and just run as far away as we can.
Making camp here.
Charge them very high, they'll abandon us anyway. And our diplomat head north and try and find Dwinberg.
Journey planned out. Stopping here.
Well, at least we crippled Leicest's economy, we destroyed their port, and we killed everyone in there, so it will be a while before it grows again, and we've got a good army actually on its way. Oh dear, but for now that will be the end of this video, so I hope again this one has been enjoyable and you've all enjoyed watching it. Do feel free to subscribe if you do indeed enjoy them, as I will continue doing these, and maybe throw some other games in there as well, who knows, maybe time will tell. But for now, I'm Arik here, Galadirton, the head of Divide and Conquer. If you have any questions or anything like that about it, do follow the link in the description and head to Total War Centre and ask us there. But for now, Navar Naden Pedimad, and farewell.